Right, hello there. Let's talk about something deeply unsettling, shall we? The kind of topic that makes you want to curl up with a weighted blanket and a very, very large map to see how far away you are from the epicenters of impending doom. We're talking about the good old US of A, or more specifically, parts of it that are teetering on the brink. Imagine this. Streets start to look like an abandoned movie set for a post-apocalyptic film, except the crumbling asphalt is real. Hospitals, those places you quite like to be open, start closing their doors. Schools where the future is supposedly molded just vanish. Alright, let's kick things off with Mississippi, a state that, bless its heart, consistently finds itself at the, shall we say, less aspirational end of national rankings. It's often dubbed the poorest state in the US, and frankly, that's not a title you put on a welcome sign. When nearly 1 in 5 of your residents, that's almost 20% of the population, is living below the poverty line, you're not just facing a challenge, you're grappling with a full-blown crisis. Consider this. Less than 54% of working-age adults in Mississippi even participate in the workforce. That's the lowest rate in the entire country. This low labor force participation rate has profound consequences. It means a smaller tax base to fund essential services, schools, healthcare, infrastructure, which, surprise, surprise, are already under immense strain in Mississippi. Next up, let's head down to the bayou, to Louisiana, a state that, on the surface, can dazzle you with its vibrant culture, its incredible music, its world-famous cuisine, and of course, Mardi Gras, a festival of such joyous, beaded excess it could make a Roman emperor blush. And you knew there was a but coming, didn't you? Beneath that glittering, laissez-faire facade, Louisiana is wrestling with some serious financial demons. Over 18% of Louisiana's residents live in poverty. That's nearly 1 in 5 people struggling to make ends meet, a figure that stubbornly hovers well above the national average. And while the state boasts a rich tapestry of industries, its economy is dangerously, almost recklessly, dependent on oil and gas. This over-reliance is like building your entire financial future on the success of one very specific, very unpredictable racehorse. Alright, let's shift gears and head north to Michigan, the state that literally put the world on wheels. For decades, Michigan was the undisputed, roaring engine of American industry, the beating heart of manufacturing might. And this is a recurring theme tonight, isn't it? That once mighty heart is now showing signs of a serious arrhythmia. The auto factories, many of them still run, some even thrive on new technologies. But the broader economic foundation of the state? It's developed some significant cracks. In 2024, Michigan had the highest percentage of financially distressed residents in the entire country. Financial distress encompasses a broader spectrum of hardship. People struggling with debt, unable to pay bills, facing foreclosure or eviction, teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. This widespread financial distress has a corrosive effect on communities. It strains social services, impacts mental and physical health, and can contribute to a sense of hopelessness. Now, let's mosey on down to the Lone Star State, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? The hats, the stakes, the egos, and the economy. Texas projects an image of an unstoppable economic powerhouse. But beneath that shiny exterior, there's a potential financial storm brewing. In 2024, Texas ranked number 2 for financial distress among its residents. Nearly 36% of Texans faced significant credit issues and rising bankruptcies. Alright, let's head to the Midwest, to Illinois, the land of Lincoln, home of Chicago's magnificent skyline deep dish pizza and a fiscal situation that can only be described as, well, pants on fire terrifying. The state is grappling with a pension crisis of such epic proportions that it makes other states' budget woes look like minor accounting errors. Illinois has, by many accounts, the worst-funded public pension system in the entire United States. Some estimates put the state's unfunded pension liabilities at over $140 billion. To put that in perspective, that's more than the annual GDP of several small countries. It's like owing your bookie enough money to buy a small island, and your only income is from a part-time job selling slightly used paperclips. Aloha! Let's journey to the idyllic shores of Hawaii, a place that exists in the popular imagination as a veritable paradise on Earth. Sun-kissed beaches, swaying palm trees, vibrant Polynesian culture, and the gentle strumming of ukuleles. But, and I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record of impending doom, behind that postcard-perfect veneer of paradise, Hawaii is grappling with some serious economic headwinds. In 2024, Hawaii found itself languishing near the bottom of state rankings for economic performance. At the same time, it consistently ranks at the top, or very near it, for the cost of living. So, you have this brutal combination: a sluggish economy, and an astronomically high price tag for, well, everything. Housing, groceries, gas, you name it. Let's roll the dice and head to Nevada, the Silver State. Fortunes are won and lost in the dazzling neon-drenched oasis of Las Vegas. Nevada's identity is built on entertainment and tourism. Over 25% of Nevada's workforce is tied to hospitality and leisure. When luxuries get trimmed, Nevada's economy can crash spectacularly. We saw this during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's wander down to Kentucky, the bluegrass state, famed for its rolling hills, thoroughbred horses, smooth bourbon, and a certain Colonel's secret recipe. For generations, Kentucky was a proud cornerstone of American manufacturing and a powerhouse in coal mining. These industries built communities, provided livelihoods, and shaped the state's identity. But as we've seen in other states, the economic landscape has shifted dramatically, and Kentucky now finds itself grappling with a dangerous new reality. Kentucky's economy is currently among the most distressed in the nation. Nearly 20% of its residents, almost 1 in 5, live below the poverty line, a figure that paints a grim picture of widespread hardship. The decline of the coal industry, a sector that once provided tens of thousands of well-paying jobs, has hit eastern Kentucky particularly hard. Let's head south again, to Alabama, the heart of Dixie. A state known for its pivotal role in the civil rights movement, its passionate college football rivalries, and its southern hospitality. But beneath the surface of Sweet Home Alabama, there's a less harmonious tune playing. One of quiet, persistent economic and social decline across multiple fronts. Alabama isn't just facing a challenge in one specific area. It's falling behind nationally in a whole suite of critical indicators, painting a picture of a state struggling to keep pace in the 21st century. The state consistently finds itself ranked in the bottom 5, or hovering dangerously close to it, across a range of vital metrics. We're talking about healthcare, where access and outcomes are a significant concern for many Alabamians. We're talking about education, from K-12 to higher ed, where funding and performance levels often lag behind national averages, impacting the future workforce. And finally, let's journey to the mountain state, West Virginia. Almost heaven, as John Denver so famously crooned. A land of breathtaking natural beauty, rugged mountains, and a fiercely independent spirit. But beneath that majestic Appalachian scenery lies one of the most economically vulnerable states in America today. West Virginia is facing a demographic and economic crisis that has been decades in the making, a slow hollowing out that threatens the very fabric of its communities. Over the last decade, West Virginia has experienced a more significant population decline than almost any other state in the U.S. It's shrinking year after year as jobs disappear and, crucially, young people leave in droves in search of better futures elsewhere. So, there you have it. 10 U.S. states, each teetering on its own particular precipice, each facing a unique cocktail of challenges that could, if the wider economy truly crashes, lead to a collapse. It's not a cheerful list, is it? From Mississippi's entrenched poverty to Illinois' pension black hole, from Nevada's tourism tightrope to West Virginia's hollowing out. Each one has its own story, its own specific set of vulnerabilities, but the warning signs are blinking bright red pretty much everywhere you look. Rising poverty, crumbling infrastructure that looks like it's been attacked by a very lazy Godzilla, vanishing jobs, and a deep, often perilous dependence on fragile economic systems or single industries. Some of these places, remember, once stood as titans. Michigan, the arsenal of democracy. Kentucky and West Virginia, fueling the nation's industrial might. They were cultural icons, economic engines.